Oh my gosh, where are these thoughts coming from? My head is so full, it's like it never stops. Ah, help! Do you recognize this? I sure as hell had this before. And I have a lot of people that come to me with the same question. I have so many thoughts. When I meditate, I have so many thoughts that just keeps coming and coming and coming. Definitely when you're starting out with meditation, this will almost surely happen. Because for the first time in your life, you're actually making space for thoughts to come up. Instead of always running around and being busy and not making time for yourself, then you're not actually aware of what's going on because these thoughts are always there. You're just numbing them, suppressing them with busyness and the world around you. But when you sit, you close your eyes and you go inside, then you actually start to look at what's happening. Like, oh my gosh, what is this? So much noise, I can't handle this. And that's a never ending cycle because you not handling it is the reason why you're so busy and life just seems to take you over instead of you controlling your life. You're being controlled. And you don't need to have a formal sitting meditation to be aware of this. You can just sit on a bench in nature. You can just have a walking meditation. You can have a running meditation where you're fully in the moment. And then thoughts will come up because you're human. And there are very little people who actually have no thoughts. I sure as hell do still have thoughts. And sometimes it also feels overwhelming. And then I take a deep breath and I start observing again. Okay, I'm too busy with the outside world. Let me slow down and see what's happening. Because the more you take the role of the observer instead of the participant, the thoughts are going to dissipate. I'm sure you heard this before, but you are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You observe your thoughts. And the challenge begins when you start identifying yourself with your thoughts. Like, oh my gosh, I created this. This is me. This is going to happen. Instead of, oh, bye. You watch it come and you watch it go. By you becoming the thoughts, you give it power. And then you become fearful. You get anxious. But the mind is what's actually creating these thoughts, if you're not aware of it. Your mind is a tool. And the tool can also, like AI, can start producing thoughts by itself. Then that's all these weird thoughts coming by. So you, as the conscious awareness, the soul, can use your tool, the mind, to create thoughts that you want. Or if you're unaware, if you're unconscious, and if you don't observe, the mind, the tool, will start producing thoughts by itself. And if you're not aware, if you're not conscious, if you don't observe, you will start identifying with your thoughts. And you will be like, what the hell? I'm so busy, my mind is so busy, oh my god, what's going on? But you take a step back. It's almost the same thing as you were doing. While you're meditating, you're doing it great. But before you go in, you set the attention of, I am the observer. You are aware that you are aware. You are conscious that you're being conscious. And that is your soul. Your soul is neutral. Your soul can't get dragged into thoughts. So when you identify with a thought, that is not your soul. That is not who you are. Just a thing flying by. I've had a very big lesson around this just over a year ago, where I identified very big with a thought that I had. Like, oh my gosh, where? How? Why? I thought I was over this. I started to feel guilty because I was having the thought. Like, no, I don't want to have the thought. This is not who I am. And then I shared what was happening in my mind with someone else and they got very upset. Because in the end, what happened was I took my thought as truth. And then I shared that truth that, like, this is what's happening inside me. And it took me a very long time to understand. All I had to do was observe the thought and not act on it, not judge myself or like, this is true. Because a lot of the times your mind is lying. Your mind can be a sneaky bitch who is lying to you. So it's not because you're thinking that it means that it's true. Your brain's a little bitch that's gonna lie to you. And because you're aware and because you're observing, you can see that. So all I had to do back then was to see the thought, observe it, like, oh, hello, okay, this is not my truth. So I'm going to let you go and I'm going to create a thought that I actually want. But what I did was, oh my gosh, is this who I am? I'm thinking this, so it must be what's happening inside me. And that created a lot of drama that I could have avoided, but I couldn't back then because I wasn't ready. And now I am. And if I would share all the thoughts that were going on in my head with the world, I would end up in a mental institution. Crazy stuff go up inside there. Sometimes I just laugh. It's like a movie. Like a movie passing by. Like, what the hell's going on in there again? Oh, hello. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, yeah, I could make big money with the script. But it doesn't mean that it's my reality. It means that I observe. I see what's going on. I don't participate in the movie. I'm not inside the movie. I'm watching outside with a big bag of popcorn in my hand, scrunching away while I'm laughing my ass off with all this nonsense happening in my head. So the more you start observing and you just set the intention of like, okay, I'm observing this, I'm not participating. Even when you get dragged along with the thoughts, you come back to the observing part. The more you practice and you keep persisting, the easier this will become. And you set the intention beforehand, I observe. And the less thoughts will come. And don't set the expectation of I need to have no thoughts. I need to have less thoughts. I need to have a calm mind. Because then already you're having pressure and anxiety. Even when I'm saying this, I can feel lingering anxiety. Oh my gosh, this has to go right. I need to meditate for the next 20 minutes because my life depends on it. And if I have thoughts the next 20 minutes, then I'm doomed and the world will explode. Or you can just be like, for the next 20 minutes, I'm going to observe. And that's it. And you close your eyes and you go. And the easiest way to meditate is to just observe your breath, flowing in through your nose and out through your nose with your eyes closed. Don't set expectations, just be the observer, be the watcher. The cars pass by. You can jump in the middle in front of them, try to stop the cars, the thoughts, or you can go to the sidewalk, and observe watch the cars passing by. The more you watch, the more calm you will become, and the less cars will come. Because you are the observer, you're not the participant, and you create your thoughts. And you can just have fun watching all the nonsense pass by. And sometimes it may be a challenging thought, like, oh my gosh, I feel so scary. I would never want that to happen. And you just come back to the moment. You come back to your breath. You can pull yourself out of that thought. And sometimes you need to do some emotional work on it, some tapping, some dancing, some breath work. When something gets triggered and activated and you feel like it's too much to feel, to just observe. A book that I read last year, it says there, The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. What the whole book is about is keeping your heart open no matter what. What a lot of people do, and what I did in the past, is when something feels painful, is to close your heart. But then it keeps building and building and building layers of protection, and you can never feel real love and be free. So one of the things that I practice sometimes now, one of the tools that I use when I feel that emotional pain coming up, while a thought passes by, even if it's fiction, even if it's something created in my mind, I just feel it and I put the intention of I keep my heart open and I feel the pain. Because when you feel that, the quicker you feel it, the quicker it goes away. Sometimes it's really just like 30 seconds or a minute, and I feel that and then it just dissipates. Because that emotion just wants to feel seen, heard, and felt. And your heart is a big magnet, so it's going to attract that, and then it's going to release it again. But if you close yourself off of that pain, you're attracting more of the pain. But you start to open your heart and it cracks open. You actually start living. So that is my hope for you. No, not my hope. It's my wish for you to start living to the best of your abilities. Because the best that you give today is enough. You are doing enough, and most of all, you are enough. That is all for today. Thank you for tuning in. Share with somebody you know. Put it on repeat during your lunch breaks or whatever. And always remember that you are epic. Ciao, ciao.